So, you've been doing art for a while now, and you notice that we are surrounded with art. Digital art, to be specific. Video games, comics, TV shows, ads. All these things use digital art in some way. And there's a lot more. I mean, even a lot of pro artists that you follow on Instagram and look up to are doing a lot of their pieces digitally. So you started thinking, should I do it too? Should I try digital art? But a lot of questions started popping up. Is it really not that different? Is it harder or easier than traditional art? What do I need to buy? And how much money do I need for it? And what is the best software for drawing? I was asking these same questions, and now, 3 years later, I can answer them all for you. And at the end of this video, I will also offer some tips and some common mistakes, so stay tuned for those. So, let's go. So, how much different is it from traditional art? To be honest with you, it really is a bit different. As almost to everything, there's a learning curve to it. Drawing itself isn't that different, but the drawing process is. What do I mean by that? You will have to learn how different tools work and how you can use them to your advantage to make the overall drawing process easier and faster. Being smart about it is key. Like, you could shade something normally, struggling to not let the colors go off the object you want to shade. But why would you do that? When you can use multiple layers and use a clipping layer for shading. That leads me straight to the next question. Is it harder or easier? I actually wouldn't say it's easier, and it definitely is not harder. It certainly is more effective though. You will just have to spend a bit of time learning how the drawing software works, the different tools, and to really think about the whole process while drawing. Watching a lot of digital artists on YouTube also really helps. Everyone uses different techniques, do stuff in different order, and you can really learn from them a lot. And that's exactly why you should subscribe to my channel. I'm definitely not a pro, but I want to grow as an artist together with you, and I will share all new knowledge I acquired along the way with you. So I'm sure you can also learn something from me, or maybe even teach me something. I'll be glad for any advice. What do you need to buy to start with digital art? Well, first of all, let's be honest. Mouse really is not an option. Please just don't waste your time. If you don't have money for a drawing tablet, just draw on paper until you make enough money to buy a drawing tablet. And you really won't need a lot of money. I'm sure you've all seen those huge expensive Wacom Cintiq tablets, which cost like 4,000 euros, but you really don't need those. It really depends on how serious you are with this, but let's say it ranges from 50 euros to 1,000. I really wouldn't recommend buying anything more expensive than 1,000 euros if you are just starting out with digital art. This was my first drawing tablet. It's Wacom Intuos M Bluetooth. I got it for 200 euros, but now you can get it for even cheaper. I think it's like 150 euros or something like that. And it actually is a really good drawing tablet. I'll make a review on it really soon. 1 year ago I upgraded to my Huion Canvas 22 Plus. I'll make a review on this one too. It costs around 600 euros, and as you can see it is much bigger and it also has a screen. When choosing a graphic tablet you have to consider multiple different parameters, and I will go over them just briefly. The most important parameter is pressure sensitivity. This basically means how accurate your tablet can sense the pressure you apply to your stylus, which affects the thickness of the strokes. The bigger number, the better. Another really important parameter is size. The bigger, the better. So size really matters. Another really important parameter is the resolution when it comes to display tablets. There is a lot more specifications, and I will maybe go over them sometime in the future when I will make a video about tablets. There are 3 types of graphic tablets, and I will just go briefly over them so you understand the difference. The first and the most simple type are drawing tablets without display. These are also the cheapest option and are really good for beginners, but can be also used professionally. So how do they work? It's really simple. Just connect them to your PC and what you draw on the tablet will appear on your computer's monitor. No, it is not the same as touchpad you have on your laptop. The working area of the tablet represents your entire computer screen. So the bigger the working area, the better, because you don't have to zoom that much. Pros of this type of tablet are the price, storability. I mean, you can just put it into your drawer. Also, it is much healthier for your back because you are not constantly looking down when drawing. Con is that there is a bit of disconnection because what you are drawing is appearing on your monitor and not under your tablet's pen. So there's a bit of a learning curve to it, but you can get used to it after a few weeks of drawing. The second type is what I use now. Display drawing tablet. Most professional artists use this type of tablet. You also need to plug it into your computer, but the difference is that there is a screen, obviously. The bigger, the better, but the price also goes up rapidly with the size. Pros of this type of tablet are that you can see what you are drawing directly on it, and you can use your other screen, for example, for references, because essentially you have multiple screens now. Display tablets also sometimes have really interesting features. For example, my Huion Canvas 22 Plus has 140% sRGB, which makes the colors really pop out and sometimes it looks like real-life paint. Not all tablets have this though. I specifically chose this one because it has it. The cons are the price. Display tablets usually are much more expensive than non-display drawing tablets. That leads me straight to the third type. Drawing tablets that don't need a computer to work. These are great if you want to do digital art literally anywhere. A great example is iPad Pro. But there is also Wacom Mobile Studio Pro, which is on a completely different level, and some more. Con is the price. These are super expensive and you can get much better drawing experience with a normal display tablet for a lot less money than you would pay for an iPad Pro. Wacom Mobile Studio Pro drawing experience is comparable to its normal display tablet counterparts, but the price is insane. Like, it literally is the price of a car. So the choice is up to you. Just remember that you don't need anything expensive. You can make beautiful art even with a non-display drawing tablet. Even some pros use those. I recommend Wacom Intuos M, but you can also get an S version which is a bit smaller and also cheaper. So now let's talk about software. This really comes to your preference, but I will list some really good ones over here. In Photoshop you can do almost anything, but it's a program made mainly for editing photos, so there is a lot of features that you won't use, and it makes it a bit confusing in my opinion. And that's exactly why I switched to Clip Studio Paint after a few months of using Photoshop for drawing. Clip Studio Paint is definitely my favorite drawing software. It contains everything you will ever need, and you can even animate in it. It is also really affordable, as it's only a one-time purchase of 42 euros or $50, but I'm also paying for an annual subscription, so I can get all the new updates, which is only 10 euros. I think it's really worth it, because they are constantly adding new updates with awesome features. Another thing I really love about Clip Studio Paint is that there is a Clip Studio asset section directly in the launcher, where you can find thousands of different brushes, tools and patterns. I'll be making a lot of videos about Clip Studio Paint in the future for sure. If you don't want to spend any money, there are also some really good drawing programs like Krita, which is probably the best free drawing software on the market, and there is also Fire Alpaca, which I heard is also really good. I've never used these, but I saw a couple of pro artists using them, so I can only assume that they are good. And as I promised, as my thanks for reaching it this far in the video, I will just briefly go over some tips and common mistakes so you don't have to learn them the hard way. Get used to using layers. They are really your best friend. With layers it can get really messy sometimes, so don't forget to name them. If you don't know how to use your drawing software, don't worry. Every time you don't know how to do something, just Google it, and you will slowly get used to all the different features, and your brain will just remember. Even I sometimes hit a brick wall and have to search for advice. When doing line art, really try to do long, confident strokes. It will be really hard at the start, but you will get used to it. Don't abuse the power of digital art. If you want to improve, just don't copy and mirror eyes, eyebrows or ears and other stuff. It looks childish and unconvincing. And for the last and the most important tip I got for you, use references. Using references is really the best way to improve. I recommend using Pinterest because it's much better than Google Images. Okay guys, so that would be all for today's video. If you got any questions, just ask them in the comments and I will gladly answer them all for you. Subscribing, liking and sharing this video with your friends would mean a world to me. So if you want to help me in return, that's all I ask from you. Just remember, keep it fun and really enjoy doing what you love. I'll see you in the next one. Love you and bye.